Yeah, hi, my name is Mary Linda, and this is my granddaughter Anaya. And since we have farmer style ribs on sale this month, I thought you might want to see how easy it is to turn it into a nice Sunday sauce. Farmer style ribs look like this. You buy them fresh frozen out of the freezer section at the store. I like any kind of good Italian tomato, usually a chopped tomato, and then I add strained tomatoes to that to sort of give it a nice amount of body. Good olive oil, fresh chopped onion, and some garlic, and some fresh basil. And all we need is salt and pepper, and we'll get going. But make sure you have a good couple hours, because it does take a little time for this meat to cook, so it's just right, and it just sort of so tender it just pushes it apart. I'll show you. Okay? Okay, first you add a little bit of olive oil after you get your pot nice and hot. And we're going to let them brown. You start to brown your meat and turn it. You just want it to get a nice little bit of brown on it. It is not that important. But then, after it gets a little brownish, then you start to add your onions and garlic. I don't add the onions first because I don't want them to burn while the meat is starting to brown. You add your onions and garlic. Okay. Then start to mix that around. That sort of coats. Okay? Then, begin to add your tomatoes. Now, for this amount of meat, and you just got to sort of judge it, you want your sauce, your tomatoes, and your strained tomatoes to just sort of cover the meat. You want it to do that so that that's how all that flavor comes in there and your meat begins to cook. You're adding the strained tomatoes because you want to make your sauce just a little bit thicker. It has a nice texture to your sauce. Then stir it around, like so. Just sort of incorporating all the sauce. Doesn't have to do that much because it's going to be cooking here for a couple hours. Then we want to add the salt and pepper. A nice pinch of salt. And then we add our fresh basil last. And if you have it, even I can grow fresh basil, so I know you can do it too. So try to use a fresh herb if you can. If you can't find it, you can use dry, but fresh is the best. Put it on the top, sort of tearing it. Thank you, sweetie. And then mix it in. And you leave your sauce on sort of medium-high until it comes to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, then you turn it down to a simmer. Put your lid partially on the top. Sort of rest it with the spoon, and then go ahead and let it sort of simmer there for now. You got 2 hours, so you got to be patient. The sauce has been simmering. You see how nice it is. You get this nice little bit of oil on the top. And the way you sort of test it, you see how when I push this together against the side, it just falls apart. And that's exactly what it's going to do on your plate. And that's what you want to do. Cook it till it's very tender. Okay, usually I try to remove the big chunks of meat because we like to eat them separately. If any are left, then they'll go in with your pasta. But it's nice to remove the big chunks so that you can serve them on the side. Okay, so once our sauce is ready, we've cooked our pasta and drained it. I know a lot of times they tell you the fry pan, but to me this is the easiest to do. Add your sauce. Toss it with your, I use two wooden forks. Ooh, that smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision here. I put a little bit of cheese. Then I put more sauce. Toss so the cheese sort of mixes in. Finish it with a little more sauce on the top, the remaining sauce, and a little cheese, and we're ready to go. Well, I'm hoping that this will be your favorite sauce besides my husband George's too. Thank you and buon appetito.